wrestling fans. My name is Brian Crazy. You are watching the F and brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. Thanks for tuning in once again. I am back with my review of TNA's Impact Wrestling for July 12, 2012. It was a phenomenal night on Impact, and I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to run through the matches, and then I'm going to run through the promo segments and give you my thoughts. And then it's up to you guys, the fans, the subscribers. You got to hear some of my opinions. Now I want to hear yours. Please comment below. Please also like, favorite, and pass this video on to wrestling friends of yours that are wrestling fans. So we start off the night with Bully Ray versus Joseph Park. Joseph Park is the brother of Abyss. They are portrayed by the same person. They're both portrayed by Chris Parks. He portrays Abyss and Joseph Park, and he's done such a good job portraying Joseph Park. I mean, it's such a contrast to the role that he typically plays as the Monster Abyss. The Monster Abyss is just that. He is a monster, and Joseph Park is this, yuppie lawyer from New York City or wherever he's billed from, and just a total polar opposite. So Park starts off this match with Bully Ray, and he's his typical self. He really doesn't like the confrontation. He doesn't know anything about fighting, and he's just trying to hold his own. He's trying to avenge himself for being, made fun of being bullied by Bully Ray, because that's what Bully Ray does. He bullies people, hence his name. I guess that wasn't too hard to put together, now was it? But moving on, guys. Bully Ray ends up picking up the win over Joseph Park, but during this match we saw something different out of Joseph Park. After Bully Ray pushed him to that limit, we saw that, spark ignite inside. Now, I don't know if the storyline's going to come out that Joseph Park is actually Abyss in disguise, or what's going to happen, but basically we saw a black hole slam. We saw the tax get dropped. I mean, we saw Abyss. And it was very, very interesting. I can't wait to see how this plays out and where this is going to go. Then we go into a Bound for Glory series match. We see RVD square off against Samoa Joe, and this is another great match. RVD does pick up the win, but at the end of this match, you could see in Joe's face, he was very disappointed that he didn't pick up the win, and he is the current leader on the leaderboard. And I just have a feeling that we're going to see a new, reinvigorated, and a better Samoa Joe than we've seen in a long, long time. I believe that the Bound for Glory series is going to be where we're going to see Samoa Joe really make that rebound. He was on a bad losing streak. Creative really didn't have too much to do with him, and now he is the top man in the Bound for Glory series. He had a great showing at Destination X. He had a great showing here tonight, even though he didn't lose, and the expression in his face told the entire story. I mean, this look he was making, like a fire was just lit inside of him. I can't wait to see what Samoa Joe's going to do in future weeks. Then we go into X Division action. This is a non-title match, but we get to see Zema Ion square off against Dakota Darsow, and Zema Ion intentionally injures, at least in the storyline, Dakota Darsow during this match, and then grabs the microphone and likens it to what he did to Jesse Sorensen, and says if anybody else is going to come after him, they're going to basically get the same fate. And, to be honest, I've been a little outspoken about the Zema Ion character. I haven't been too fond of, the character. All wrestlers that go into the ring, as they give a good job, I respect them. I respect these athletes, but I don't like every single gimmick. And to be honest, I liked Zema Ion when he first broke in. He was a kid from the Philippines that was just trying to make it. Then he adopted the current gimmick, with the hairspray and the over-the-top mannerisms, this, that, or the other. But I have to say, if this is the angle that they're going to go with, if they're going to turn real life into this storyline, and they're going to make Ion look like this horrible guy, and Sorensen's going to be, the returning injured, it really could play out well. Now, Zema Ion being X Division champion for the next 12 months into Destination X 2013. I don't know when Sorensen's going to make his return, but I know he's promised to be at Destination X 2013, and it's so great for Jesse Sorensen. Like I said, I respect these athletes. And when I saw Jesse Sorensen get injured right in front of my eyes while I was watching the TNA pay-per-view, my heart went out to him and his family. I was involved in a real serious accident a few years ago. I don't talk about it a lot. I don't talk about my personal life on here a lot, but I was involved in a serious motor vehicle accident. I ended up breaking my neck and severely injuring my shoulder. I've had the shoulder surgery. Fortunately, through physical rehab and injections, my neck's gotten a little bit better, but I found out some bad news. I do have to have a spinal fusion surgery. They have to fuse the two discs. They put in this cage. That's how the doctor described it. I guess it's a cage that they fill up with grafted bone, and that all heals together and basically fuses those two vertebrae. If you guys aren't familiar, I'll try to give you a quick little anatomy lesson. You have vertebrae in your spine, there's discs in between them, and my disc is out of position, and it's so out of position it's not going to find its way back. So basically they have to do that. But I feel so fortunate to have overcome that and be able to actually have some movement. I'm in pain, I'm not going to lie. But right now I got a wife, I got 3 kids, and I got a very active life, and I can't put it on hold for potentially, 2, 3, 4, 6 months. some of us just have to deal with, the pain to move on through life every day. But guess what? It's I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of a sense of motivation knowing that I was able to overcome that. And I'm sure the same for Jesse Sorensen. Every day that he works to return to the squared circle, that is his goal, and he is going to do it. And he has so much heart, and he has so much promise. And like I said, my heart went out to him when that accident happened. And, I'm so glad that Jesse Sorensen did not end up any more seriously injured. I know his injury was very serious, but I'm glad that he's going to be able to rebound and make it back to the squared circle. Even if he wasn't able to make it back to the squared circle, as long as the man could stand on his own two legs and use his arms, that's enough right there. I have a very good friend when we were 16 years old. He was involved in a bike accident, broke his neck, and now he's a quadriplegic. And, life can change that fast. Just a few years ago, one of my best friends ended up passing away. He got involved in a boating accident. And I'm talking about a guy that I've known half my life, just like J.C. Styles. We all grew up together, and just taken away from us. And, I was very angry at the world and questioned, to be honest, I even questioned God. I questioned this, I questioned that, I questioned the other. Why would this happen? Why would they do this to us? Why would they do this to his family, his parents, his friends? Well, sometimes you don't get those answers, and I'm sure Jesse Sorensen's, been looking for that answer. Why did the match go wrong? But guys, I'm sorry I got so off topic, but I'm sure that you understand what I'm talking about. But we see Zema Ion pick up the win over Darsow, cut a great promo. I do have to say, I like the evolution of the Zema Ion character. I have to kind of backtrack on some of the things I've said in the last few weeks. And then we go into Knockouts action. We see Tessmacher pick up the win over Gail Kim. This was a Knockouts title match. This was the rematch that Gail Kim's wanted for so long. It was a good match. They're really pushing Miss Tessmacher, and they are making her into a legitimate, strong competitor. And she has been working her butt off. Yeah, she's a little green still. A lot of the knockouts are a little green. They're still learning. Well, with the exception of course, Mickie James and Tara and some of the more established knockouts. But you get a knockout like, example, Velvet Sky or Brooke Tessmacher. They're very passionate about the business. They're very passionate about learning. They might be a little green, but if every superstar came in already knowing everything, how could they get any better? They would already be the best. You can only get better from here. I'm sure a lot of you guys understand what I'm trying to say. And then we go into Kurt Angle versus Mr. Anderson. Probably match of the night. Anytime that Kurt Angle goes out and steps between those ropes, you know it's going to be good. And especially with the talent to the caliber of Mr. Anderson. Phenomenal match. Kurt Angle picked up the win. Then there is several major promo segments that happened throughout the night. We saw the first of these segments where Austin Aries came out celebrating his Impact Wrestling, TNA Wrestling World's Heavyweight Championship win at the Destination X pay-per-view. He's interrupted by Robert Roode, which I've never seen a promo quite like this. Very, very good. It's different. I like different. Was it the best promo ever? Probably not. Was it bad? No. Was it good? Was it different? Yes, and that's what matters. Something fresh, something new. And Robert Roode was like, he was just blowing head gasket. He didn't know what to say. And he basically just says that his reign is a fluke and ends up walking off pissed off. And Austin Aries just keeps rubbing in his face that he's the TNA World's Heavyweight Champion. And he also makes a great point that even champions from other promotions congratulated Austin Aries on his win. And this is one of the biggest wins this year, and maybe even this decade, for professional wrestling. He said professional wrestling, not sports entertainment. Not that I have an issue with sports entertainment. Trust me, I like the promos. I like the music. I like the segments. I like the wrestling too. But I like that there's something else, another draw that makes you interested in watching. If we just had a bunch of wrestling matches without storylines, you could have some really good damn wrestlers and really enjoy it. But after a while, you're just going to be like, more wrestling. More wrestling. We got all the storylines. Something interesting. There's a reason we're coming back. There's a character behind these stars. That's one of the reasons I love the Attitude Era so much. Not to sound nostalgic for the Attitude Era, but I liked it because every single person had a storyline, down to the referees. Remember the referee strike and the scab referees in 1999? Come on, everybody had a storyline. Other segment that we ended up touching on, Claire and AJ Styles. Basically, Claire comes out to the ring. She's also out there with Dixie Carter, Frankie Kazarian, and Christopher Daniels. And my God, has Daniels become such a polished man on the mic. His facial expressions just told the whole story. And just to sum this all up, when Claire told AJ that in fact it is his baby, the look on Daniel's face, man, you would have thought the guy just struck gold. You would have thought he found the leprechaun at the end of the rainbow. This guy was ecstatic when this came out. And for months, everybody's seen Daniels as the bad guy. But, what's really going on here? Of course, it's all storyline. But in the storyline, I review this as I'm watching the show. If I really, chop down every single segment, these reviews probably, wouldn't be that entertaining, to be perfectly honest with you. But looking at it from the storyline, what's going on here? This is pretty freaking interesting. On a completely side note, I was watching this with my wife, and she points out to me, okay, that girl's supposed to be pregnant, but she's smoking a cigarette as she's pulling into the impact zone. I guess the girl does got a couple problems, now doesn't she? And then we go into the final segment of the night, and Sting comes out. He wants Hulk Hogan to come out, and as Hogan's music plays 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times, Hogan is nowhere to be seen. He is attacked backstage by those masked men. They end up bloodying the Hulkster, and then they attack Sting 7-on-1. Now, who are these guys? Why are they focusing on Hogan and Sting? Now, I have a feeling somehow it's Jeff Jarrett, and the reason I say it's Jeff Jarrett is because he is the founder of TNA Wrestling. He could be disgruntled that Sting was the first person named to the Hall of Fame and not him. It could be somebody else, but I have a feeling it could be Jarrett. Now, I guess Jarrett is the obvious thing. It would be good if they did what is not obvious, what is new, what is fresh, what is different. Now, I honestly don't know where this storyline's going, except for the fact that not only Sting, but Hulk Hogan got their, pretty much, I hate to say it, their asses handed to them tonight on Impact. I can't wait to see where this goes. I can't wait to see next week's edition of Impact, and my God, this is one of the hottest shows of the summer, and I am a huge TNA fan, and trust me, 2 years ago I was producing videos with titles like, Who Wrote This? Okay? And tonight I watched one of the best episodes of wrestling I have in a long time, and episodes like this, performers like this, is what makes it so great to be a wrestling fan. It's what makes me so passionate to be a wrestling fan, and I am so happy to come on here and provide you guys with these reviews, and especially be able to provide a review when I really, really, really enjoyed the product, and I just thought it was a great show. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Yeah, it was a little less formal than normal, but guess what? Right now, I'm running the show by myself. So I'm going to give you a little bit more of my opinions. I'm going to give you a little bit more of my feedback, but I'm going to try to keep the quality, the content, and the length of these videos very similar to what you guys have grown accustomed to. I don't want to, cheat out on you just because it's just me. Guess what? The show must go on, and I am here to provide the show for you guys. Hopefully my broadcast colleague returns, but as it stands, I'm producing these by myself. Thanks for checking out this video. Thanks for being loyal fans and subscribers of the Effin' brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. My name is Brian Crazy. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you later.